To eliminate much confusion in new churches and to avoid many disputes, wise trainers and disciple makers teach new leaders to discern 3 levels of authority for church activities. So the first level is New Testament commands. Now we are to obey God's commands without voting or arguing about them. Jesus is our Lord and Master. He is the head of the church, and a church is completely planted when it is doing all of the vital ministries that are required by Christ and his apostles in the New Testament. The second level of authority is New Testament practices. Now, a Christian has freedom to heed these practices or not, since they are not necessarily commands, but we need to not prohibit following them, since the apostles practiced them and approved them. The third level of authority is church tradition. Now, we are never to demand blind obedience to traditions. Most traditions are good, but we need to prohibit traditions that hinder obedience to New Testament commands. Jesus had this same issue in Matthew 15 when he is rebuking the religious leaders of his time. It says, "For the scribes and Pharisees who were from Jerusalem came to Jesus saying, 'Why do your disciples transgress the tradition of the elders? For they do not wash their hands when they eat bread.' And he answered and said to them, 'Why do you also transgress the commandment of God because of your tradition? For God commanded, saying, Honor your father and your mother, and he who curses father or mother, let him be put to death. But you say, Whoever says to his father or mother, Whatever profit you might have received from me is a gift to God, then he need not honor his mother or father. Thus you have made the commandment of God of no effect by your tradition.'" So an example of a New Testament command would be baptism, to be baptized and to baptize. And a New Testament practice would be immediate baptism. This was the practice of the New Testament. And maybe a church tradition would be to be baptized in a church and to go through maybe a baptism class of some kind before they are fully ready to be baptized. So we need to keep this framework in mind as we discern what category a church activity is according to the New Testament, and then respond accordingly as we seek to make disciples, to plant and multiply churches towards igniting movements.